Up next, 3 fragrances that are relatively new releases in the last few months that I think aren't getting the love they deserve, because these fragrances I personally love and would recommend that you try and get your nose on. Find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose. Again, here at Osme Perfumery on another lovely day. So I was, sitting here talking with Maurice and Babica, the owners at Osme. We're just, talking about fragrances in general, as we always do, all things perfume, and just talking about some perfumes that, some are instant hits, some are not, some kind of build momentum over time. And I was thinking about 3 of the fragrances that I really enjoy that have come out in the last 6 months or so, or even less, from some major perfume houses, niche perfume houses, that maybe necessarily haven't caught fire yet. For example, God of Fire is one that did catch fire, literally. It just, from Stefan Humbert, Lucas is just, on fire, can't keep it in the store, people love it. It's universally liked by both men and women. That's one that just instantly caught fire. It's huge. And then there's other ones, that it's interesting, from a niche perspective. Everyone obviously in this niche world has their own unique tastes, and not always sure why certain ones will take off right away or not. Excuse me, adjusting my camera there. But these are 3 that I particularly like, and I'm gonna go actually in order of how much I like them. So first is from 8 & Bob, and this is Githari. Githari, which came out in the last couple months. This is a fragrance that, first of all, I love the bottle. I love the design. This is very different from their original perfume bottles. This is an extrait, by the way. And as a counterexample, another fragrance that has caught fire more quickly is Agneta, which came out at the same time as Githari. Agneta is a little bit more of a spicy, ambery, kind of sweet fragrance that is selling like wildfire. Githari is one to me that I personally, between the 2, like better. Like them both. I really love both those fragrances, but this one I really like. It's more subtle. It's a little bit more, I think, to me it's a little bit more mellow, but it's a little bit more, I think, almost, I don't want to say the word refined, but I think like gentlemanly. I think this is a very exquisite perfume, one that can be worn in a multitude of situations. It's got pear and salt at the top, along with some suede leather, some jasmine, white musk. So this is kind of a very clean, I would say mellow, a little bit fruity, a little bit sweet fragrance that just really works well on my skin. Again, this would be a great fragrance I've already worn a few times with a nice crisp white shirt and a suit or a jacket, dinner party, when you want to be really elegant. This is elegant. I would describe this as a wonderfully elegant fragrance, and check it out if you haven't tried it yet. It deserves more love. Next, I'm going to go to the house of Marc-Antoine Barquois, and this is, you can see there, it's kind of the sun is shining, Ensalade. Ensalade, again, came out in the last few months. I've talked a lot about Ganymede, one of my favorite fragrances that I've gotten in the last couple years. Ensalade is, to me, to be honest with you, right on par with Ganymede or any fragrances that he's come out in the last few years. I don't see it talked about as much. I don't see people, kind of flocking to it when I notice people in the store. Not sure why. If you love, again, anything by Marc-Antoine Barquois, this one is right in line with all his wonderful fragrances. It's a beautiful vetiver cedar fragrance. I happen to enjoy vetiver and cedar as 2 of my favorite fragrance notes, so maybe that's why I particularly like this fragrance, but it's just different. His fragrances, to me, what I love about this house is they're different. They're not like, even, obviously niche houses, the reason why we like niche, right, is because they're different from the typical designer house, but even some niche houses can kind of fall into the old chasing the trend or following similar smells. That's not the case with Onslaught. This is something that you are gonna stand out, you're gonna smell different, you're gonna smell like this dude or this woman, like they smell rich. Like this is a fragrance, you put it on, you smell like you have money. No other way to describe it. The last one I said is elegant. This screams, you've got money. And then lastly, I'm gonna go with fragrance that I absolutely love from Apex, and this is, I'm sorry, from Perfumes, and that is Apex. So Apex is, this is the, by the way, the parfum version. There is a cologne eau de parfum. This is the extrait, the parfum version. For those of us who are a little bit older, maybe the reason why I gravitate towards this is because it reminds me of the classic men's fragrances from the 80s. But this has taken maybe that inspiration and brought it into the 2020s. So if you think of, you know, like Polo Green or Drakkar Noir or one of those fragrances, but you think something that's fresher, that's more modern, that's more clean. It's not just this like dense green, dark, woody, leathery fragrance like a lot of those from the 80s. This has a lot of citrus, a lot of orange, lemon. If you look at the notes, incense, ambergris, oak moss, you know, so you've got this kind of green chypre effect, but updated for the modern times. For you younger viewers out there, you have to try Apex, whether it's the cologne version, which is going to be a little cheaper than the parfum version. They're both very similar. I recommend either one. Try them. I think what happens is a lot of people, maybe for whatever reason, they're not used to this type of smell because it's a little bit, it's not dated by any means, but it's just not something they're used to smelling in the last maybe 15, 20 years. So at first glance, maybe you're like, I'm not sure if this is for me, or maybe it reminds you of your dad or something. This is not your dad's fragrance. I can promise you that. I grew up in the 80s. This is not that. This is really good stuff. And it is my favorite of the three for this little video here of fragrances that I believe deserve more love. So there you go. Check them out again. Gathari from Bait and Bob, Onslaught from Marc-Antoine Barquois, and Roja Parfums Apex, either the cologne version or the parfum extrait version. I'm telling you, you will love them. I'll be back soon with another video, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, and perfume.